start a very important chapter of class 9, that is motion. And in this video we are going to cover an important topic of this chapter, that is distance and displacement. Clear? So first, before starting the main topic, first we should know some moving object that we observe in our daily life, like birds fly, fish swim, blood flows through veins and arteries. Even we are sitting idle, that blood is moving in our veins and arteries. Planets are moving around the sun, and movement of air. How can we identify that movement of air? Even the air is colorless and odorless. But how can we identify the movement of air? We can identify through indirect evidence. We can identify through movement of trees, movement of leaves, and movement of dust particle that air is moving or air is blowing. Clear? Now last is rotation of earth. How can we identify that the earth is rotating? Through indirect evidence like changing of seasons, sunrise and sunset, because a rotation of earth is responsible for all these phenomena. So we can get the idea of that the earth is rotating through these indirect evidence. Now come to the main topic, that is motion. So what is motion? Movement of an object from one place to another with respect to origin is called motion. Now what is origin? Origin is known as reference point. From where the measurement is observed. Like if we say that this line is 6 centimeter. So how can we say that 6 centimeter from where? So you have to mark this point as a origin or as a reference point. From this point it is line OA is 6 centimeter. So for this line, this O is origin or reference point. If you say, let's take another example. If you say that your home is 4 kilometer, is 4 kilometer far away from, you have to tell that your home is 4 kilometer far away from your school. Because if you say like this, if your home is 4 kilometer far away, so that statement is incomplete. You have to tell that your home is 4 kilometer far away from your school. So in that measurement, your school is the reference point. Right? Now let's discuss about the concept of distance and displacement through some comparison point. So first comparison point on the basis of their definition. The distance definition is the length of the path taken by object, and the displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and final position of an object in a given direction. So let's understand this point by taking one example. If this is the A point and this is B point, and the person wants to reach from A to B point, and he adopt this path to reach from A to B. Clear? So this is the, if you want to calculate the distance, so you have to measure the length of the path taken by the object. If you want to calculate displacement in the same case, you just need to draw the line between initial and final position, because this is the initial position where the person has started his journey, final position where the person ended his journey. So you just need to draw the straight line between initial and final position to calculate displacement, right? And the second point is distance is scalar and displacement is vector quantity. So to understand the concept of scalar and vector quantity, you should know that the scalar are those quantity which require only magnitude. Magnitude is what basically its numerical value. And vector are those quantity which require magnitude, means numerical value, as well as direction to calculate. So let's understand this point by taking one example. If I am giving this information that the Ram travel 4 kilometer and 2 kilometer. Clear? So is this information enough to calculate distance? Can you calculate the distance only from this information? Yes, you can calculate, because he traveled 4 kilometer and he traveled 2 kilometer length of the path. Clear? So for calculating distance, you need to add 4 plus 2 is equal to 6 kilometer. Because only for distance, only for calculating distance, you only require these numerical value. 4 kilometer and 2 kilometer are the numerical value, and you can say magnitude is required to calculate distance. That's why comes under the category of scalar quantity. Now, in terms of vector, can you calculate the displacement from these information? No, you can't calculate, because you have to draw the path taken by the Ram, so that you can identify the initial and final position. If I add north, if I add the direction along with this magnitude, this is magnitude and this is direction, 2 kilometer magnitude, if I add east direction, now you are able to calculate? Yes, you can. First you draw the path. Now you draw 4 kilometer north direction from this origin point. Clear? And east direction, draw 2 kilometer from east. So this now you have got, this is initial point and this is final point. Clear? So for calculating displacement, you just need to draw a straight line between initial and final point, by which you can calculate the displacement. So now you can understand. So for displacement calculation, you need both magnitude and direction. You can't calculate the displacement without knowing the direction. Only by knowing the magnitude you can't calculate the displacement. So it comes under the vector quantity. Now concentrate the third point. It cannot be 0. It can be 0. How it is possible? If the person travel some distance, then he cover always a length of the path. So it cannot be 0. Distance cannot be 0, but displacement can be 0. How? Let's understand this point also. If the person started his journey from A point to B point and come back to its A point, A to B and B to A. So in this case, the initial point is A and the final point is also A. So you can't draw the straight line between initial and final point. So in this case, displacement is 0. So it can be 0. Now the fourth point is it is always greater or equal to displacement. It is always equal or smaller than distance. First, you should know the 3 points between distance and displacement, like distance is greater than displacement, distance is equal than displacement, distance never be smaller than displacement. How can it be possible that, let's elaborate this point by taking one example. If the boy started his journey from A to B, that is 10 kilometer, clear, and it come back from B to C, clear, so it is 4 kilometer. Now it is 6 kilometer, and the total distance from A to B is 10 kilometer. Now if it started from A and ended his journey to C, now you have to calculate its distance. Distance is the length of the path taken by an object. So length is 10 kilometer and then 4 kilometers. So you just add these two magnitude. 14 kilometer is the distance. Now the displacement is, initial point is A and the final point is C, because he started his journey from A point and he ended his journey in C point. So the initial and final position distance is 6 kilometer. So 6 kilometer is displacement. So you can see that distance is always greater than displacement. It never smaller than displacement. How can be the distance is equal to displacement? How? In straight line motion. If it is started from A to B, 10 kilometer. Clear? So in this case, the distance is also 10 kilometer and displacement is also 10 kilometer. Why is it so? Because initial and final position is same. So the shortest distance and the total path taken by an object is same. So in this case, only in a straight line motion, the distance and displacement are same. Is it clear? So, and one more thing I would like to discuss. The SI unit for both distance and displacement is meter. Although you can measure the distance and displacement in meter, centimeter, kilometer, millimeter, but the SI unit for both distance and displacement is meter. Now let's learn how to calculate the distance and displacement by taking this example. So in this example, Gagan completes one round of a circular track with radius 35 meter in 2 minutes. Find distance and displacement after 6 minutes. So first you draw a circular track with radius 35 meter. And Gagan started his journey from A point. So in 2 minutes, he completes one round. So in 6 minutes, he completes 3 rounds. 2 3 ja 6. So this is his 3 round. So 3 complete round he has taken. So now distance, first we calculate distance. Distance covered by Gagan in one round is equivalent to the perimeter of the circle, because he started his journey A and he ended his journey after one round at A point. So it is equivalent to 2 pi r, because the circumference or the perimeter of the circle is 2 pi r. So in distance, and you know that in 6 minutes he will take 3 rounds. So distance covered by Gagan in 3 rounds is equivalent to 3 into 2 pi r. Now put the value. 3 into 2 into pi is equivalent to 22/7 and r is 335. So 6 into 7 660 meter is the distance. Now come to the displacement part. Just recall the definition of displacement. This is the shortest distance between initial and final position. So let's identify the final position of Gagan after taking 3 rounds. So he started his journey A, and after taking 3 rounds, he will come back to its original position. So in this way, the initial point and the final point for Gagan in this journey, throughout the journey, is same. So the displacement is 0. Clear? So in this way, you can calculate the distance and displacement in this question. Now it's a quiz time for you to check your understanding. This is the same question, but I have changed the last value. Now you have to calculate the distance and displacement for 3 minutes. I am going to give one hint that in 3 minutes, Gagan will complete 1.5 round. Clear? So now you can calculate the distance and displacement and send your answer in the comment box. And we will meet again in the next video with the new concept, that is speed, velocity and acceleration. If you really find my video helpful, then do subscribe and share. So goodbye.